Of all the people at Netscape that could have sort of developed a cult following, Barksdale was it.
He's the leader of the pack. I mean, he is the one that just puts spirit in this place.
Netscape, everywhere, team, fight!
People were really drawn to him and to his philosophy, and they really dialed into that right away.
Jim is the kind of chief executive who has a very natural ability to get people to put out their highest and best effort.
I was not born yesterday, and I didn't fall off the turnip truck, and I know it's going to be difficult, and I don't have every answer how we're going to increase market share, but I learned a long time ago if you make it real clear and a lot of smart people work at it, they'll figure it out. So y'all figure it out. Our strategy is composed of two parts. Get known, get in. If you can't remember it, it's unlikely you can accomplish it.
Jim gave us a spirit of, your job is to go out and get it done. We're going to figure out a way to pull this one off. And so we did some of the most amazing and creative things as a company because Jim had that spirit of, we can do anything.
We have plenty of visionary and smart people, but what's really unusual at Netscape is how we work together as a team. And that was made possible in no small part by our leadership.
We have three rules at Netscape. The first rule is, if you see a snake, don't call committees, don't call your buddies, don't form a team, don't get a meeting together, just kill the snake. The second rule is, don't go back and play with dead snakes. Too many people waste too much time on decisions that have already been made. And the third rule of snakes is, all opportunities start out looking like snakes. Well, I've always told people to not think of Netscape as a family, that we're a team. Because if you're a family, that creates a need for sort of a daddy. And I've always told them, I'm not their daddy.
I'm here for you, but I'm not your daddy. I'm not going to treat you like that. You know, we're all adults here. We're gonna work together.
Not a huge ego. Not a selfish man in any way. Very concerned about employees, concerned about relationships between employees. Good guy.
I had the marvelous good fortune, or misfortune, whatever it is, I had 5 brothers. And the amazing thing to me was my mother convinced every one of us that she loved each one of us the most. So I love all of you. The most.
I just can't say enough about how much I respect that man. You know, he really cares about people, is willing to make hard decisions, is funny.
He was always had some way of expressing something that makes you smile and makes you look at the world a little differently.
One of the big companies we were working on in Europe walked by the server room where we run the www.netscape.com, and this woman started crying. She said for 2 years she's been using our product in Milan, Italy. Every day she sees our website, and now she sees where it comes from. That shows you the impact we have without realizing it.
We had a contract with Silicon Graphics, and part of our contract was that we sold them the source to the product in exchange for them being a partner of ours. And I remember there was a big debate inside the company about whether or not we should sell the source. And Jim had a very simple answer to that dispute. He said, honor the contract.
Anybody can keep their word when it doesn't cost him anything. The real question is, if it's going to cost you something to keep your word, do you still keep your word? And his answer to that was always, yes, you should.
I think his values and what he set for us as a company are very important because organizations take on the character of the leader.
Jim would always sort of raise his hand like the man at the end of the table should, and we'd all silence.
And Jim just sort of said, folks, does anyone have any data here?
He said, if everybody has an opinion and no fact to back it up, then mine's the opinion that counts.
That just sort of put in place very early on, saying, you know, this is going to be a company that's going to be managed logically and rationally, and it's going to make sense.
Some of the proudest moments have been when we have created a new customer and expanded that customer with the use of our products.
He's an excellent salesperson, probably Netscape's biggest cheerleader.
If we have made a commitment to a customer, he will do whatever it takes to deliver on that.
There was a problem in one of the products that we shipped, which caused Jim Barksdale to fly over to the client side, and to show his commitment and belief in the product, Jim Barksdale wrote a check for $500,000.
We've put a lot on the line, both professionally and corporately and personally. I do believe in the people of this company, and I believe deeply in the products we've created. I think they're important, they're relevant, they're necessary.
Netscape, everywhere, team, fight!
There is nothing that drives me more in this world. It isn't money, and it isn't what the people say good about us. What drives me more than anything is that I want to prove all these bastards wrong.
When somebody dissed our people, his organization, his team, he's very protective of the team and took all the criticisms of them, I think, quite personally.
I think to go up against Microsoft took a great deal of personal courage. I mean, look, face it, to be the chief executive of any company making any kind of ordinary business decisions is tough. It takes a certain amount of intestinal fortitude.
There were times when it was very, very trying, and I think we showed a great deal of courage and resolve, and today are much admired for it. Because we grow at such a rapid rate that not everybody understands what we're trying to do at any particular point in time. And I can't imagine how we're going to get there if we don't know. Like the story of the little girl Alice getting to the fork in the road and asked the Cheshire Cat, which way do you go? And he said, where are you going? She said, I don't know. He said, well, then any road will do.
I've got lots of time for Jim Barksdale, lots of respect and lots of admiration for him and for the sacrifices he's made to help get us to where we are today.
I think of myself as much as working for Netscape as I do working for Jim Barksdale.
He taught me the value of patience, which I still have trouble with.
He, I believe, has helped all of us who work directly with him to become better people, better managers.
He walks into a room and he's the sort of person you just want to follow.
Dude, I'd kill for him. Yeah, I'd kill for him.
The real genius of Jim was recognizing that we would be a great and large and sizable and substantial and high-impact company. And he saw that early. Seeing it's one thing. The genius was to build the company around that premise.
We'll look back on this time and say this is a very special time, and each of us was there, and we knew Jim Barksdale, and he and we made a difference together.
You really did help us become one of the greatest companies in history, and it's been a phenomenal ride.
It's the greatest time of my life. I'm going to miss everybody.